I couldn't focus on anything the next morning. Not breakfast, not class, not even my favorite song on repeat could drown out Damon's voice echoing in my head. Maybe this week isn't enough. Maybe I want more. He'd said it so casually, like he wasn't aware he'd just turned my brain upside down. I told myself he was joking, that it was just another one of his games. But a part of me, the part one didn't want to admit existed, whispered that he wasn't. Because something had changed between us. He wasn't just my rival anymore. He wasn't even just the guy who'd made me his bet. Somewhere along the line, the push and pull had turned into something I couldn't name. And the worst part? I didn't hate it. Damon arrived late to school that day, strolling into class like he hadn't made me lose sleep. His uniform tie hung loose, hair slightly tousled, and when our eyes met, that slow smirk spread across his face, the one that said he knew exactly what he was doing to me. He slid into his seat beside me, leaned in just enough for his shoulder to brush mine, and whispered, "Morning, sunshine. Did you dream about me?" I scoffed. "Yeah, you were falling off a cliff." He chuckled under his breath. "As long as you were there to catch me." I rolled my eyes, but my pulse betrayed me. I was getting too used to his teasing. Too comfortable with the way he invaded my space. By lunchtime, my friends had clearly picked up on something. "Okay," Mark said, pointing his fork between Damon and me. "What's going on with you two?" "Nothing," I said too quickly. "Nothing?" Luke grinned. "You're practically glued at the hip. You even sit together now." Damon didn't help. He just leaned back with that maddening grin. "He can't stay away from me." I turned to glare at him. "You're delusional." He smirked. "You say that a lot, yet here you are." The table erupted in laughter and I wanted to melt into the floor. My face was burning, my words tangled somewhere between embarrassment and the stupid thrill of being the center of his attention. After lunch I thought things would calm down, but no, Damon found new ways to drive me insane. When someone made a snide comment about me in gym class, "Guess Damon's got a new pet," I expected Damon to laugh it off like usual. Instead, he dropped his towel, straightened, and fixed the guy with a look that could have cut steel. "Say that again," he said, voice calm but dangerous. The other guy blinked, clearly surprised. "Relax, man, it's a joke." "Then it's a bad one," Damon replied, eyes still cold. I stood there, speechless. Damon never defended anyone. Ever. Later, as we walked back to the lockers, I muttered, "You didn't have to do that." He shrugged, glancing at me sideways. "Yeah, I did." "Why?" "Because I don't like people talking about you." I blinked, caught completely off guard. "Since when do you care what people say?" He gave a half smile. "Since it's about you." I didn't know how to respond to that. So I didn't. I just stared at the floor, pretending my heartbeat wasn't skipping. The days that followed felt different. The bet still hung between us, but it didn't feel like a chain anymore. It felt like a thread, one we both kept tugging without meaning to. Damon still gave me little orders, but now I didn't mind them so much. Sometimes I even followed without him asking. He'd ask me to grab his notebook and I'd already be handing it to him. He'd hold out his hand expectantly, and I'd sigh and give him the last piece of my snack. He'd smirk and I'd pretend to complain, but secretly I liked it. It scared me how natural it felt. One afternoon we ended up studying together in the library. While I was studying, Damon was pretending to. He kept tapping his pen against my notes until I looked up. "What?" I hissed. He tilted his head slightly. "You concentrate too much. It's kind of cute." "Cute?" I echoed. "That's the best you've got?" His grin widened. "Would you prefer handsome?" I tried to roll my eyes again, but I couldn't stop the corner of my mouth from twitching. Damon noticed, of course. He always noticed. For a while we just sat there, quiet except for the sound of pages turning and our pens scratching. But beneath the calm, something heavy lingered. The space between us felt too small, the air too thick. When our fingers brushed as we reached for the same pen, I froze. His hand didn't move. He looked at me, eyes darker than usual, softer too. Neither of us said anything. We didn't have to. The silence said enough. The next day it rained again. The universe clearly had a sense of drama. We shared the umbrella like before, shoulders pressed together as we walked home. Only this time, Damon didn't say anything. His usual teasing was gone. The quiet between us was comfortable, almost intimate. "Hey," I said after a while, "the week's almost over." "Yeah." His voice was calm. "You'll have to find someone else to boss around." He didn't answer. I looked up at him and for once, his expression wasn't smug. It was unreadable. Serious. When we reached my house, I expected him to make some kind of joke or demand. But instead he just stood there, umbrella tilted slightly toward me to keep the rain off my face. His voice was quiet when he finally spoke. "You really think this was just about the bet?" I frowned. "Wasn't it?" He took a small step closer, enough that I could feel the warmth radiating from him even through the rain. "It started that way," he said softly. "But now..." He trailed off, then leaned closer. My breath hitched. Now I'm not sure I can stop. The world went still again, the kind of stillness that happens right before something changes forever. I swallowed, trying to find my voice. "Damon." He smiled faintly, eyes flicking to my lips before meeting mine again. "The bet might end," he whispered, "but tell me, do you really want it to?" And just like that, everything inside me tipped over. The rain fell harder, thunder rumbling somewhere in the distance, but all I could hear was my heartbeat. All I could see was him, standing there, rain on his lashes, the ghost of a smile on his lips, waiting for an answer I didn't know how to give. Because maybe I didn't want it to end either. That night, I sat by my window listening to the rain against the glass. My reflection stared back, tired eyes, messy hair, and the faintest smile I couldn't hide. Somewhere between rivalry and obedience, between teasing and tenderness, we had crossed a line neither of us could erase. And the truth was, I didn't want to go back. If you enjoyed this steamy ride of love, power, and desire, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more hot BL stories that will leave your heart racing. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next episode.